Howlin Wolf.
Well, his background was, everybody knows by now, he was born Chester Burnett. He came from the Mississippi Delta, later changed his name professionally to Howling Wolf. Now, supposedly, legend had there was another Howling Wolf that was making a big name for himself, much older than Howling Wolf, and he took the name from that. I don't know if that's absolutely correct, but it's one of the stories floating around about him. And he was actually a very successful recording artist with Sun Records before he went to Chicago. Didn't get a record deal till he was like about 38 or 39. He served time in World War II, and very successful. He taught himself at the age of like about 35 or something how to read and write, if you can believe that. Man had no education, and he actually took up accounting and and was one of the few people to pay his band compensation when they weren't working in the 60s, when people like Marvin Gaye and James Brown and Joe Tex and Otis Redding were really taking over the black record thing that was happening. The blues guys were just shrinking fast. People just didn't want to hear it, and Wolf's band was laid off, and he paid them compensation, and it was supposedly tax deductible. He had it all figured out, and he paid his people well, and they loved him too, because we worked with his band in '73 and '74, opening for him in '74, and got to know Eddie Shaw, Hubert Sumlin, Detroit Jr., and they really respected him. Really, he was like a father figure to them. And Wolf taught Eddie Shaw how to do it, the sax player, and Eddie Shaw taught us how to do it. So when we went to see Wolf play and watch Eddie, it was more like a classroom than just pure entertainment. And we were really watching these guys, how they did it, how they conducted themselves, how they got paid, and Howling Wolf showed them the way. Now, that's not easy to do for a man coming from the Mississippi Delta with no education, from a minority race, come to a big city like Chicago and pull off something like that. And he was very proud of that. And I'll give you Howling Wolf in essence. You ready for this? Okay. There's a room of people and guys in his band and the club owner, and an artist was coming to town, a piano player. So actually it was a piano player, Roosevelt Sykes. Excellent. And they said, Roosevelt Sykes coming to town. And the club owner said, oh yeah, Roosevelt Sykes is going to be playing at the bar. And he said, oh, hey Wolf. And Wolf scrolls, hey Wolf, Roosevelt Sykes, he's pretty good, isn't he? And Wolf goes, yeah, but I am the Wolf. That's dead silence. That said it all. And to me, that was the essence of the man. There's him and then there's the rest. But you got to believe in yourself, you got to have that confidence or you're not going anywhere, and boy, Howlin' Wolf sure had it, and that's one thing it taught us, really believe in yourself, and you get up on the stage, don't be shrinking, and say, I'm here for one reason, because I'm damn good, and you're going to find out tonight, Because you got to understand something, Muddy Waters, Howling Wolf, they didn't have anything to fall back on. It's not so much they knew what they wanted, they knew what they didn't want. They didn't want the life their parents had, slaving in a cotton field, 15 hours a day for little or no pay and no future for their children. So it was all or nothing for them. It was like, well, my dad has a business. If this doesn't work, I can go into the business with my father, or I have a degree in accounting, or I have a background of I got a teacher's credit. If music doesn't work out, I can go to work in a library. They didn't have any of those kind of things. So they literally were up against the wall. And when they went on the stage, man, they meant business all the way. No foolishness. Nice people, but at the same time, don't fool around with them. Don't get in their way. Serious. Well, there was just no question in their mind who was number one. Some of them thought they were number one. Howling Wolf knew he was number one. Got that? And by God, he was. No doubt about it.